figs. Huntress and Finn are deep in the woods this episode, literally and metaphorically. There aren't as many cameos and Easter eggs in Ep 2, but on the flip side, we get a new cosmic realm to speculate on, and a math ton of new Huntress Wizard lore. Lore that I think will influence the way she has to heal and rescue Finn. You're watching WhitneyVision, and this is our breakdown of the Crocodile Who Bit a Log. This is your spoiler warning! If you haven't seen Season 2, Episode 2 of Fionna and Cake yet, hit pause on this video and come back once you've summoned the spirit of the forest. The episode opens with young Huntress's journey to becoming a green wizard, long before she possessed magic abilities. As she trains, the spirit of the forest watches from a distance, encouraging her attempts to crack open a giant rock in the forest. It's very interesting to see this guy pop up again. We've only met him once before, all the way back in Season 7 of Adventure Time in the episode Flute Spell. If you recall, that was the episode where Finn meets Huntress for the first time, although it wasn't the first time she appeared in the series. Huntress actually first appeared in Season 3's Wizard Battle as the only female magic-wielding participant in a fight to win a kiss from Princess Bubblegum. Literally every other lady wizard bailed, but Huntress solidified her status as a girl kisser in her very first appearance. When Huntress and Finn play their flutes together in harmony, it summons the spirit of the forest to them, which was Huntress's original goal. When she asks him where he's been, the spirit confesses that he stopped appearing to her because she changed her lifestyle. He accuses her of acting more like a city wizard, likely due to the fact that she's been socializing with non-green wizards and other civilians like Finn. But back in Season 7 of AT, it really wasn't clear what Huntress's relationship to the spirit of the forest was exactly. Even Finn and Jake were confused about whether he was Huntress's ex-partner or her ex-mentor. Well, we've been waiting for nearly a decade, but we finally learned that he was definitely her spiritual guide on the road to the heart of the forest. The path to green wizarddom requires discipline, strength, and fortitude. Huntress dedicated 100% of her time, energy, and talents to her training, building physical muscles and gaining emotional control. At one point, we see her hang upside down from a branch in tree pose, for seemingly the first time, unsteady in her balance. As the days and weeks pass, Huntress gains more stability and can meditate in this position more easily. When Huntress meditates like this, she's doing the exact same pose as the figure on the Hanged Man tarot card. It seems this season is big on using tarot as symbolism. The Hanged Man sounds like a scary death omen card, but don't worry, it isn't. The Hanged Man represents ultimate surrender, sacrifice, and patience. The person who receives the card might be suspended in time or waiting for the best moment to act on something important. That's why this pose is used to show Huntress's steadfast devotion to her green wizard training. In the early days, she struggled to balance, forage for food, find shelter, and connect to her surroundings. But after a few seasons of training, Huntress is fully in tune with nature. Perhaps the spirit looks down on wizards who get their degree or develop personality traits from the relative comfort of Wizard City instead of putting forth the blood, sweat, tears, and severed hands necessary to become a true green wizard. Apparently, the Green Wizard Club is extremely exclusive, and Green Witch Wizard even tells the spirit to stop bringing home strays to train the first time she meets Huntress. But then again, pretty much every wizard clique is super elitist and exclusionary. In Season 6's Thanks for the Crab Apples, Giuseppe, we learn that there are multiple different secret wizard societies that don't take kindly to non-members. Interestingly, Witch Wizard calls the spirit of the forest Spirit Dream Warrior, despite his previously given name in Adventure Time. Fans have long theorized that the spirit of the forest is somehow related to the Dream Warrior, another one-off character from an early season of the original series. If you recall, Dream Warrior first appeared back in Season 4's Who Would Win. When Finn and Jake pass out and experience a shared dream, Dream Warrior appears to them as a used car salesman, giving them advice and riddles. Both of these characters are voiced by Matthew Broderick, and I also don't think it's a coincidence that their names are being interchanged with one another this season. From this snapshot of Huntress's early years, we also learn that the spirit of the forest was right about something else back in the Flute Spell app. He explains to Finn that Huntress is often single-mindedly focused and can't always see the important things that aren't directly in front of her. From the moment Huntress begins training, it's clear that she's completely focused on her goals, without much regard for any other aspect of her existence. She doesn't have a family to make her food and keep her warm at night, nor does she have any friends to cheer her on while she whacks that rock. She's monk-like in her dedication to wizardry in the forest, spending every minute of every day working towards gaining her powers. While we don't know much else about Huntress's origin story beyond this training montage, I think that something super traumatic must have happened to her before she sought the path to green wizardry. For starters, we know every wizard in OO is made up of 3 concepts: madness, sadness, and magic. You can't access wizard magic without being a little bummed out and bonkers. I mean, just look at the Ice King, Betty, Magic Man, Peppermint Butler, or any of the other magic wielders in OO. None of them are just happy, normal guys. Each of them have experienced great loss, tragedy, insanity, or all 3. So my guess is that something real bad must have happened in Huntress's early years to lead her down the wizard's path of magic, sadness, and madness. She confirms this herself when she reveals her true feelings to Finn in Flute Spell. She tells him that, although she likes him and theoretically wants to date him, she can't bring herself to take that step with anyone. She believes that if she experiences the softness and tenderness of love and friendship, she'll lose her strength, independence, and focus. She even explains to Finn that the madness and sadness inside of her won't let her get that close to another person, which is why the 2 of them have never been officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Huntress and Finn have more of an on-again, off-again situationship, albeit one that's built on a foundation of mutual respect and admiration. She even teases Finn that they both know he's in love with her at the beginning of season 10, and his smooch in response kind of confirms that he's still crushing on her, even though he knows that Huntress isn't emotionally ready for a real relationship. This lone wolf mentality dates all the way back to the end of her training, when young Huntress finally reaches the heart of the forest, offers her sacrifice, and receives green magic. She doesn't want to join the other wizards in their quest to protect the heart. Instead, she tells Witch Wizard that she plans to make it on her own and live her life without the rest of the coven. Which is why I'm sure it was a pretty big surprise for Witch Wizard to see Huntress back at the heart after all these years. Despite the fact that she repeatedly warns Huntress that messing with the heart will cause scary, dirty things to happen, Huntress is single-mindedly focused on her quest to save Finn. She's so determined to steal sap from the sacred tree that she fails to realize just how dangerous it is to do so. Because Huntress strayed from the coven of green wizards long ago, she never learned this particular secret about the forest. She refuses to believe that Witch Wizard knows better than she does, and barrels ahead without thinking about the consequences. Like the spirit Dream Warrior told Finn, she puts blinders up against anything that isn't directly in front of her, and that ends up being her downfall. Huntress shapeshifts into a log, and when Witch Wizard bites down in croc form, she shatters her teeth. Hence the title of the episode, The Crocodile Who Bit a Log. This is a play on Huntress Wizard utilizing a battle technique made mythically famous by ninjas. The idea is that a ninja could move so fast that they could substitute themselves with a piece of the environment around them, such as a log. Over time, this became a trope where a ninja could summon objects in their place and teleport away. With Witch Wizard trapped, Huntress plunges her tap into the trunk of the tree, unlocking the cage that held a terrifying ancient beast. The heart of the forest grows and emerges from the earth, taking the form of a gigantic stag with a bleeding tree on its head. But this being is more than a tree full of ecto-cooler. It's a huge addition to Adventure Time's cosmic lore. I also don't think it's a coincidence that we see a stag rise from the heart in that episode, especially because another name for a male deer is a hart, spelled H-A-R-T, not H-E-A-R-T. So the heart of the forest has a double meaning here. Not only does it connect all of the realms like a heart pumping blood throughout all the veins of your body, it's also describing the creature imprisoned by the green wizards. If you're getting Princess Mononoke vibes, you're not alone. This creature is clearly influenced by the Miyazaki classic. But do you know the deeper, real folklore at play here? This stag draws from the sacred deer associated with the Kashuga Shrine in Nara, Japan. Originally, this deer was the mount that the Shinto thunder god rode to the shrine, and afterwards, the deer became a messenger from the gods, and is depicted in both Buddhist and Shinto art with a tree that grows from its back. The Nara deer is a divine link between the heavens and the earth, and at the top of its tree sits a golden mirror that reflects the blessings of 5 divine beings. The green wizards call this creature the source, seeming to imply that this is where green wizard magic comes from. Having the beast chained up and being their source of power has some dark implications, mainly that their magic is the direct product of imprisoning a divine creature. This tracks again with the recurring theme that all magic in OO comes at the price of madness and sadness. Where the source draws its power from and where Huntress is ultimately sucked into is actually inspired not by Shinto or Buddhist beliefs, but by Norse. We've seen that the cosmic lore of Adventure Time blends multiple cultures and religions together, so this shouldn't be a surprise. The heart of the forest seems to be a depiction of Yggdrasil, the world tree that connects the 9 realms in Norse mythology. This immense ash tree was thought to be the center of the cosmos, binding the realms of the gods, humans, and the underworld. Basically, in 2025 media terms, it's a tree that ties the multiverse together. Famously, Yggdrasil is home to a variety of cosmic beings. There's the Nidhogg, a dragon that chews on the roots of the trees, there's an eagle and a hawk that nest atop the tree, and there's Radikoskr, a squirrel that acts as a messenger and frankly a gossip between these beasts. Interestingly, 4 stags are also said to live inside Yggdrasil. Their exact symbolism is hotly debated among various scholars, from beings that represent the seasons to the elements of water, earth, fire, and wind. Either way, I'm curious if the divine beast is only one of 4, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. Another big mystery that may never be solved, which this realm introduces, is the disembodied voice that speaks to Huntress. Credited simply as the voice, I think it's fair to assume that this voice belongs to another cosmic being, such as Prismo, the cosmic owl, and the numerous deities we were introduced to last season. If we keep to the Yggdrasil theory, this voice could be the dragon Nidhogg, or any of the other animals that populate this tree. But I've got a wild theory to throw out. This voice is an adaptation of Odin. Odin notably pinned himself to the world tree for 9 days by his spear in a sacrificial act. After this, Odin unlocked insight and knowledge of the secrets of the universe. I believe that the voice could have a similar backstory, an entity that pinned themselves to this multiversal tree to unlock its secrets. My theory is that the voice merged with the tree, giving it great wisdom that we see it share with Huntress. While I don't have much evidence at this point, the smoking gun for me is that the electricity that moves throughout the tree reminds me a lot of how synapses fire in the brain. So if the tree is a brain of sorts, then the voice is the being of wisdom that speaks on its behalf. Anyways, back to the breakdown. The dimensional tree's roots touch Huntress, turning her severed body parts into floating green seeds. The seeds are blown into little tiny stars growing from the tree's branches, and it turns out that each of them is a tiny portal to another part of the multiverse. We see them land in Farm World, Vampire World, on a green leaf, underwater, on a purple planet in outer space, and in Baby World. Here we see Baby Tree Trunks and Baby Ice King before Baby Cinnamon Bun chomps down on one of the Huntress seeds. But while Huntress is going on an incomprehensible spiritual quest, the gang in Fionna World have problems of their own. When they try to break into Queenie's barbed wire gate around the sweet spot, they're caught by the mysterious fake mustache guy, who turns out to be Kairosyphon in disguise. If you recall, Kairosyphon was one of the cosmic entities captured by the Scarab last season. He just wanted a peaceful life as a normie, but apparently, after he got fired from Tea Time, he started working for Queenie to make ends meet. Check out Gary's outfit in this scene. He's wearing the same pink camo pants that PB wore in the Star last season. He's also wearing the exact purple hoodie that we see Bubblegum wearing later on in the episode. At the bar, Fionna, Cake, Gary, and Marshall are served by the female Fionna World version of Dirt Beer Guy. The cocktail she gives Fionna is the same disgusting concoction of liquor, olives, and onions that Simon ordered in Ooh last season, and Fee is wearing Martin Merton's jacket from the Star. In the background, Hannah Abadir's spy is monitoring Marshall. He's based on one of Hunson Abadir's demon guards in the Nightosphere. Hopefully he didn't overhear the part where Gary asked Marshall to move in with him. They don't need this weirdo lurking around their love nest. After watching an inspirational episode of Cheers, the gang recruits Pep Tank to help them wreck the sweet spot, but end up deciding to try to buy the lot from Queenie instead. In return, Fionna lets Pep Tank go to a rave, where he parties with the humanized versions of the Party Bears, including Party Pat from the Belly of the Beast. Albert, the hungry bear from the Islands miniseries, can also be seen groovin'. There's also Muscle Prince/Princess joining them on the dance floor. Back inside the dimensional tree, that disembodied voice encourages Huntress to choose which way to grow. After meditating in the Hanged Man's pose, Huntress is able to zero in on a star portal that emanates Simon's voice. She hears Simon tell someone on the phone that he's in the ambulance with Finn. She ends up in Fiona's bedroom and plants herself in a neglected pot, patiently waiting to grow. Meanwhile, Fionna talks to Simon and Baby World Finn about her deepest insecurities. When she asks Simon what will happen if everyone gives up on Finn, she's worried that her friends are going to get tired of her ruining their lives all the time. And when she tells Baby Finn to get his shit together or everyone in his life will leave him, she's not actually putting that heavy stuff on a baby. She's giving herself a mean pep talk. While I know that Huntress and Fionna are on very different quests at this point in the season, it seems like they're both on track to learn some of the same lessons. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need people around you to love you and support you. Both Fionna and Huntress are fiercely independent. Huntress because she fears her own softness, and Fionna because she feels like a burden to others. They're both gonna have to discover the beauty in being honest to the people they love about their feelings and fears and hopes and dreams. In the meantime, it's definitely more than a little concerning that Finn told Huntress that he's gonna die soon when their spirits met in their dreams. We have solace in the fact that we see and together again that Finn lived to be an old man, but this is still a heavy message to get from your unofficial boyfriend. I do think it's interesting that this scene touches on the fact that Finn is a spirit that reincarnates, and also features a blue butterfly, one of his past lives. This is wild because there's also a pink butterfly and a dragonfly present. Part of me wonders if Huntress is being represented by one of these insects, and if she's another character that can reincarnate. Could she and Finn be ships that pass in the night within this lifetime, but are destined to meet again in the next? Hopefully Huntress can get back to him and that doesn't have to be the case, but I'm kind of freaking out because Huntress is so tiny now. She has to grow into a whole entire wizard all over again. And obviously I know she can do it because she's a badass, but I'm still so worried about how long it's gonna take her to get back to him. Plus, we have no idea what's going on back in the forest now that the stag has emerged. Will all of Oo get sucked into this portal like Huntress did? Will its new presence bring even more chaos and destruction to this world? Is the stag somehow connected to Prismo's map of the multiverse? Or does the heart of the forest have its own separate network going on? I have so many questions, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely let me know your theories about the dimensional tree below, and stay tuned for our episode 3 breakdown soon. I'm Scarlet Wit, and you're watching WhitneyVision.